Welcome everybody to Zelda Speedruns. This is a NMG Link to the Past NMG League 2022 tournament race. We're in Dark World Round 2, and this is Bydey versus caznode. In the commentary booth, we've got Malmo and Dao. Oh man, I'm sorry. I should have asked how to pronounce
That's
that. Anyway,
enough.
take it away, guys.
Yeah, good evening for anybody west of the Atlantic Ocean. Good morning, anybody east of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, we're off pretty soon. We got Bydey and caznode are both 124 runners. This is going to be a really exciting race. I expect some very high execution, but this is also a race, so anything can happen. Hopefully not another not quadrant glitch. What was the one we just saw? Jingle glitch. Second
glitch, yeah.
of this tournament tonight. So cross your fingers we don't have a third.
There are plenty of glitches in this game that we like. That's not one of them.
Yeah, you want to see glitches, you'll turn into the no logic tournament. We don't want to see too many of those here. This is a very relaxed, no major glitches run. Just a lot of clean movement. Quick boss kills.
Hopefully quick boss kills.
Hopefully the boss doesn't kill you quickly.
Yes. Pretty easy to die in this game, that is for sure.
Here, the Vitreous is the best at quick kills.
You know, Vitreous kind of plays with you a little, right?
Oh yeah, Vitreous likes to make you sweat on one heart and dance, monkey dance. Go into your safe corner while I tease you with an eyeball. Let me just shoot lightning on the left and right side of you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're off here. There's a lot of text in this game, actually.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's in Japanese. Because if it was in English, it would be even more.
There's about 10 minutes worth of text that we have to mash through. In English, it's almost 12 minutes. So yeah, very good.
So once Uncle has finished reading a bedtime story, Link will get out of bed because he's not a little child anymore. He can stay up late if he wants to. He learned how to pump. That means he can go outside. His curfew is no longer 10 p.m.
He has not learned the secret sword technique, however, but we were just told how to do it. And apparently, secret sword technique passed down through generations only needs a couple of text boxes. So.
Yeah, if you're not aware of what the secret sword technique is, it's pressing B. You actually cannot do anything with your B button until you've talked to your uncle.
So sorry about the game feed stuff right now, but we don't want to watch any of this anyway. It's Just Escape, everybody's least favorite segment of this game.
I promise you nothing interesting has happened. It's this very standard. Bydey just squeezed past a guard. You didn't see that, but that was kind of cool. He got one tile gap between a guard and a wall.
I actually saw Bydey go for about 726 pumps in that room. So it's amazing that he's still a little bit behind.
Is he behind? I have him as a little bit desynced.
Yeah, I think he's actually hard to tell. He might be just a touch ahead. I'll try to pay a little bit more attention. Kaz with a 214 green guard door enter. And he's setting up the... Oh, misses the spin. Luckily, 2 slashes there evens it up. Bydey's enter with about 214 and a half, so he's a little bit behind. But he gets the double spin, so he's going to make up all that time. And we're setting up for I think Kaz goes for 8/, kills the guard. There's whatever. It saves lag sometimes. It makes it easy. Nice 8/. Bydey going for pot and 4/ here. Oh, Klink's guard gets hit. But not too bad there. Yeah, the comms feed for us appears to be... Normally it'll like sync up. It's not synced up, so it's a little bit weird here.
Yeah, I'm kind of letting Dad do all the driving right now because he's actually a room ahead of me. He's spoiling things for me. I'm getting the full audience experience right now.
All right.
I just saw them enter the backtrack of the 2 stairs room where you just don't do anything. You cancel stair drag, and if you're going in the left direction, you pump. That's it.
Oh, I just refreshed and it was on that page, on that screen.
Yeah, it looks like we're working on syncing here. It's okay. It's just the escape. Nothing happens in the escape. Nobody died to ball and chain guard. That's the important thing.
We appear to be synced now. And Bydey took the lead at some point. I'm not exactly sure where. I say the lead, he's ahead by about 3 frames.
Oh, that's a lot. Just ask the world record holder. Yeah, we got some more prattling from Zelda as we push this mantle here, which is a surprisingly technical task. You don't want to push it too far because pushing is slow. So you look for a pixel cue to choose when to stop pushing. And then if you stop too early, you look really dumb, and then you have to push again. Nice snake hellway. Both runners getting mostly the same RNG and reacting exactly the same. Booming 1 in the middle.
Bydey did an air pump, got a slightly weird RNG. Kaz got a bad snake there. Got hit for it.
Yeah, and these water rooms are the rooms where you actually, if you're going to pump in these, because the water walking is really slow. So anything you can do to speed it up is going to have a bigger impact. Both of them getting really good key rats as well. Nice little Southern California 70-degree weather key rats. I'm jealous. It's like 55 degrees here. But I also lose several frames by being in the middle of California. Alright, speaking of rats, Bydey looks like he's set up for rat frames for Bydey. So that's RNG dependent, but you want the rat to hit you while your sword is out, so that you get into this push animation when you're into the door, and that despawns the shield, reducing some of that text box lag. So Bydey's text boxes are actually going quite a bit faster, although he also has beeps, so I don't know if his rat frames...
Well, he wouldn't have had beeps if he didn't get hit, right? So...
Oh, of course! He got hit by a rat. The rats do quarter, so I don't know what he was on before.
I think he was on 1 1/4.
Oh, awesome. That's so calculated. You can just go for rat frames, and if you get hit and don't get rat frames, you still get rat frames.
Yes, and so both runners have picked up probably the only safety they're going to get, which is Sankart here. We have seen a few people skip it so far in the league, but we've also seen most people get it. And we've seen about half people who get it have their run saved at some point because of it, so...
I can't believe people are skipping Sankart in a race. That just blows my mind. Like, really good runners, like 124 runners, will still get it sometimes because they feel like they're not even saving that much time. By, you know, the time they lose having to be a little more careful, taking fewer damage boosts in certain places.
Yeah, mostly it will affect what safeties or what backup parts you may or may not get. But honestly, just the peace of mind of having a Sankart is oftentimes worth 3 seconds in a race, so...
And here's another place where pumping really matters. Besides giving you a significant speed boost on the stairs particularly, the guard near Eastern will actually hit you if you don't stair pump. So it's pretty important that you at least put a little effort there. If you're going to stair pump in exactly one place in the game, that's where you should choose.
Oh, once you see how slow Link moves without stair pumping, it's hard to not.
It's a curse. I wish nobody had told me about pumping. I could have been happy. I could have been very happy, but no.
Like you can pump against these walls, which...
No, don't tell me that. I don't want to know. It's Pandora's box.
But yeah, that was a very well done Stalfos room from both of them. Very tough room to do fast.
Nobody got the little, 4-frame refill save from the magic drop, though.
Yeah, 4 frames is...
It's hard to actually save time on that.
If we have to frame count a race, maybe we'll start worrying about it, but...
We'll rewind back to that and not back to that, 6-second time loss from missing Zero Cycle Arcus.
Exactly. Both of them got kind of funny patterns from the skeletons there. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and here we go. My least favorite room in the game, the pumping room. It's so bad. You actually have to change grips here because there's nothing else to do.
Good big key damage boost from both of them there.
So, for those who don't know what pumping is, because I keep talking about it, but I don't think I actually explained what it is. Link moves asymmetrically, which means that he'll move at 1.5 pixels per frame, but if you reset his movement, he'll actually move faster on the first frame he walks, going left or up. So if you're moving left or up and you want to maximize Link's movement, you will mash diagonals and try and reset his movement as much as possible.
Yeah, as we're helped by the bot here.
Oh yeah, that's a bot.
Doesn't save very much time, but it is sometimes all you can do. So you just do it kind of mindlessly.
You can pump in doorways too. You can save 2 frames pumping in these doors. The ones that aren't auto doors, at least.
There are a lot of auto doors.
Sorry I told you about that. Anybody who didn't know about door pumping, now you know about door pumping, and it's a curse.
Kaz gets kind of a bad Zelda gamer room, but does okay. Bydey into the Armos fight here. Okay, just going for the standard 5 right, 13 down. I think Kaz does Pincus. Yep, so we're going to see 1 extra 1 down there. That's not actually any faster, but it is usually a little bit easier to execute and saves about 15 frames, 20 frames on average.
It's also nice to see that both of them got the same arrow drops and are even on arrows exiting Eastern. Sometimes you just get completely screwed by the 50-50 drop rate and you come out with no arrows.
Yeah, both of them are good enough that arrows are kind of if they didn't get any arrow drops in the run, they'd still be okay. But they'd be kind of upset about it.
Nice talk. The problem with not having arrows is you start thinking about those enemy drops and tempted towards oh, it dropped an arrow, now I have to think about whether I need it or not. But if you have enough arrows, you don't really have to think as hard about that. You get the ones that are actually on the way. Alright, so here we come across our first glitch. This is called spin speed. If you spin your sword and then activate the dash right afterward, frame perfectly, you will get this sort of stored running speed, where when you exit the stairs, the game assumes you're running because you were in a running state when you were on them.
Yeah, it makes Link move a lot faster.
Yeah, it's 4 pixels per frame instead of the usual 1.5. It's pretty significant. And you get to turn without losing and the dash and recharging the dash. Because when you recharge a dash, like you see people doing here, that's 30 frames of just standing still.
Yeah, and moving diagonally, it actually is 5 frames per second. So it's faster than straight dashing, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, diagonals are really powerful in this game. If you're like getting a PV review, they're probably going to tell you to maximize your diagonals.
Maximize diagonals and maximize your dashes. Yep.
Yeah, and balancing the two. It's hard.
And by maximizing our dashes, we mean dash as much as you can, as is reasonable. A lot of these overworld screens, it doesn't matter all that much because you kind of enter and exit at the same spot no matter what you do. Or like it doesn't matter where you enter and exit the screens, I should say. But in dungeons especially, that's not going to be the case. So you really want to like have specific spots where you start and stop your dashes.
Yeah, and there are certain sections where you don't want to dash because it's not faster than walking. If you're not dashing at least 5 tiles, you're not saving time. Because again, you're standing still for 30 frames every time you charge a dash.
Kaz dashed actually just less than 5 tiles there. That's a 4-tile dash, but it is faster because you get to dash on stairs, which does actually save time.
Right, and you'll see this in the desert big chest dashing down. You're going to see what looks like the dumbest dash, and you're going to think to yourself, that can't possibly save time. But actually, a member of our community, Requiem of Spirit, did some pretty precise timings of these stair dashes. We knew this one saved time, but he actually went in and looked at like where you want to start your dash and so on.
Bydey was 1 pixel too low and missed that dash.
You have to nudge the torch for this bonk to work, because it's actually checking that you touched the torch while running. It's not checking that you bonked on the torch.
Makes sense, makes sense.
I'm sure I think Cam is probably like yelling at me from across the world right now because I said something wrong, but you do have to nudge the torch. That at least I know. Right,
Bydey got the tricky RNG, or maybe it was a good RNG, where you're kind of listening to audio cue there, and you think you can make it, and he just didn't, and then Kaz got the same RNG and maybe started his dash a frame sooner and actually beat the cannonballs, so...
Yeah, there's like a... If you like do a first frame dash or a really early dash, you can actually beat the cannonballs. Even on the unfavorable RNGs.
There's a couple, where you can't, but generally that's true.
Oh yeah, not literally every RNG, but like ones like that one.
And that dash was the dash that Malmo was talking about?
Yeah, you might see a similar one coming out of the Smith screen when we get our Tempered Sword. It's so marginally slower to walk down, but most people will do it because it's hard to save time on tight movement. But this, at the 124 level, we actually do expect to see these tight movements.
That spin speed is incredibly dangerous, but it does save 40 frames. It's pretty worth going for, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's terrifying, though. If you fall off, you have to read a book. It sucks. You have to sit down and you have to open up your copy of Lord of the Rings and you have to read it, and you lose so much time doing that.
They both got 1/RNGs in the bubble room. That's crazy.
Ooh, got bopped. Those Igors are tricky because they actually aren't quite consistent on when they start moving. It's based on a frame rule. So you might think, oh, I do the same thing every time. Why does it not work all the time? It's because it's timing based and not entirely in your control.
Yeah, and here we're coming up on the landmo fight, which we're going to hope to get 6 arrows in on the first cycle. Bydey misses a couple. Kaz missed a couple on the third worm. Only got 1 on the third worm, but that's fine. Bydey does a good job on second cycle there. Kaz maybe miscounted, or lost track of which one was which. But good cleanup from Bydey, and good job from Kaz there.
Wow, photo finish. I see neither of them is a menu to boomer here. You can get a free menu to boomerang here and maybe save some frames on an enemy later. So coming out of this screen, there's some tight movement, but after that there's another minor glitch, and we call that fake flippers because it lets you swim without the flippers. This is one of the places where the run can die because of a glitch. If you get hit while in fake flippers, your game will try to reset you, where you were last on the overworld screen, but because you'll be on the wrong overworld screen, it will reset you out of sync. So normally that would kill your run because you're not allowed to save and quit. But in the race, we allow save and quit just to get out of that because it is going to lose you time.
I can't believe Bydey got pixel boosted there. But the menu to boom would be for, we saw Kaz arrow that pickle. It would save you an arrow for any enemy that gets in your way. On this screen right here, the pickle that's to the rightmost is the one you would want to boom. It will save you about 15 frames. And it's also useful because it can hit dead rocks, I think. So
Oh, yeah.
if they kind of get in your way and you're not sure you can slash them, Boomerang can do a little bit of extra work for you there.
I'm still amazed at how close these two are. I know it's a lot of game left, but at least going through one of the hardest boss fights in the game and ending in sync with one another is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, Lanmo, for these guys, I imagine most of the time it's a 3-cycle, honestly. Occasionally 2, occasionally 4.
Oh,
Kaz gets stuck there. That was weird.
That was weird. The dead rock's not anywhere. You must have gotten... I don't
He
know.
got stuck against the wall, maybe was diagonally in some home trade. Bydey trying to go for the spin speed, getting bullied by boulders. Kaz
he
gets
doesn't
it.
have it. Oh no, it's a sunk cost here. But he gets it. Loses a significant chunk of time on that screen though. Spin speed is, it's hard. It's a frame perfect trick.
It is actually still worth going for that one. Kind of. We can see Bydey got beat up a little bit. That's the dangerous part of continuing to go for it. But, like, it's going to save you the time it costs to try to get it. So, I don't know. Hard decision to make sometimes.
It is, and it depends on your confidence on whether you can get it a second time. If you missed it the first time, it might tell you a little bit about how your spin speeds are feeling today. Sometimes they're just not in a good mood.
Kaz going for some boomerang strats here. Bydey not. The difference in these is minuscule. It's a pretty safe dash from Bydey. I think it loses a little bit of time. Not sure how much exactly.
The 2 dash strat for that Moldorm is pretty good for race safety. That Moldorm can just really get in your way. And I know Bydey likes safe strats. He'll talk about how bad it is to menu to mirror at Vitreous and things like that. And he's, he made it to 124 on this, so, I think he has a point.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times in this game, people tell you, like, do this, it's a good strat or whatever. But at the end of the day, you have to do what you're comfortable with because strats are gonna not really define your time, but just how well you can execute them. Unless you, like, don't do Ice Pal's bomb jump or something. But
No, that's for the people who run glitchless dungeon order. And you do that once and you're like, why would anyone do this? I can't believe I used to do this as a kid. It's so hard. You want to know what's the hardest thing for a 124 runner to do? It's to play casually. It's so hard.
I can't not pump. I have to pump.
I was watching someone do a one mind with somebody who had never done a speedrun of this game before, and he just spent the whole time dreading the Ice Palace vanilla way, and at one point he just put his foot down and says, screw it, we're doing IPBJ. However long it takes, because I do not know how to do ice normally. Okay, so we got, speaking of bomb jumps, 2 spin setup bomb jumps. I'm pretty sure that's what caznode did as well.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't EBJ, right?
No.
Okay, so slightly slower, costs about a second to use the swordsman to get on the edge of the pit instead of just throwing the bomb and dashing over the pit slightly to make sure you're on the edge.
Both of them got the arrow drop on this split, and they now have infinite arrows.
Oh yeah, that's a great place to be. 20 arrows is a lot.
Moldorm fight here. We need 6 hits on Moldorm. Kaz already has 4. That is...
Oh, that's really unfortunate. He was just a little bit low there.
Yeah, Moldorm gave him a bad pattern as well.
He didn't have really a good place to be. Because of the way the pit slopes up there. Moldorm wasn't really giving him space to go up high enough.
No, it was not. And then here, ooh, okay, good. But yeah, when Moldorm's on the left, it can get a little bit tricky as well. Generally, you want to be behind Moldorm, but it's hard to do when Moldorm is going fast or in the corner. So Kaz just tried to make what he could of it. Got a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, but this helps. Bydey's coming out of here just a little bit ahead of Kaz, so this is still quite a race. And plus, we are coming up on another dungeon that ends with a very RNG heavy boss that can turn the tables very quickly.
We certainly hope it doesn't. We just wanted to keep it fair. But yeah, first we have to pull some trees. Money does in fact grow on trees in Hyrule. Bydey's going to need 3 of these blue rupees here, which he's going to get. It's going to kill 4 enemies, and then pull another tree to get 80 rupees. Kaz will also need 3 blue rupees from this first tree.
Yeah, the trees in Hyrule are carnivorous. You have to feed them the blood of your enemies to actually get paid. And the bloodier your enemies are, the redder the rupees are. And it's also really important that you're not bloody. So they have to kill 4 enemies without getting hit to get the red rupee tree pull, which is required. Like, they need those. If they don't get those, they are doing a very slow mirror to back up rupees, or they're doing another tree pull at the castle.
There's a tree pull you can do going into the castle, or you can do all of Agate Tower damageless and pull a tree after.
I actually did exactly 1 run of this category and didn't really know my rupee route, so when I exited Pyramid, I had like 104 rupees. And I pulled the tree pull. The statue, the base of the pyramid is a tree pull. It's not something you'll ever do in a speedrun if you know what you're doing. But it sure was good to know about that.
And then if you don't do that, we do have the backup Saha rupees, which is a really slow mirror, like you said. It's like 20 seconds or something.
Yeah, Saha rupees usually come up in races if somebody has like exactly 110 and they get hit by something while escorting Kiki and they're like 10 short. Those are the panic rupees.
Agate Tower is a deceptively hard split. Lots of combat, which we don't really actually see that much of in this game. Because a lot of times we're just dashing through enemies or whatever else, but we need to kill a lot of guards, so we're going to see some fun strats.
Sometimes violence is the answer. Literally, to open a door, you have to kill enemies. Generally speaking, in this game, if you are given the option to ignore enemies, it is faster to ignore them. But Agate Tower does not give you that option very often. There's a lot of, like, guards that drop keys, guards that open shutter doors,
yes,
guards that block your way on 1-tile-wide gaps. And there's a guard that we kill in a very particular way. Because of the way drops work, they're on a cycle. So a guard of a certain type, like this one, will always drop in the good fairy pack. And we want that fairy in Turtle Rock, which is several splits from now. If we get the fairy here, we won't get the fairy in Turtle Rock. So we have to kill it with a dash to make sure that it doesn't drop a fairy.
Well, there are some strats you can use to try to wrap back around to the fairy.
Oh no. What are you doing? Killing the helmet at the top of Skullwoods? You're rolling a lot of 50-50.
You are.
Yeah,
it's not good.
It's not good. At that point, you just get powder if you're worried.
I can't believe Kaz got hit. He got frame rolled there. That was a 1 in 4 that he lost. Oh, that sucks. And we do want beams a little bit. This room, you can aggro the guards a little bit faster. Okay, a little bit tricky.
Ooh, a little early on the dash as well. And caznode actually gets the key dash there because there's nothing. There was a guard in Bydey's face when he was trying to do it, so he just had to go for it. Unless he's one of those people who goes for like the mid-air key dash.
Kaz with a really good room there.
Yeah, Kaz is having a good back half of Hyrule Castle. And presumably a good front half too, but I didn't quite catch what he had done. But he's already here, so it must have been good. All right, so here we come up on the blue ball Aghanim fight. Every time Aghanim fires a blue projectile, you lose time, and there's nothing you can do about it. So in these races, we just hope that they roll similar blue balls, even if it's a lot. We don't want a lot, but if it's a lot, at least let it be a lot for both of them.
Mm-hmm. If you need to go stand up for a minute or two, now's the time. Literally nothing will be happening.
Bydey is getting more than I would like to see.
Anything more than 0 is more than I want to see.
Yeah. 0 is kind of like a double-edged sword. Because you don't really want to run against 0. I think caznode is running against 0 according to his splits. So it's going to be really hard for him to keep up with his PB in any run. Oh no.
That's most 124 runners, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is definitely a lot of blue balls on both sides here.
At least it's both sides. I've lost count already, but I think I saw like 4 on Caznode's side and 4 on Bydey's at least. It's not good. Five and 5. Oh no. Oh no, what is this? Come on, okay. I'm glad that they're at least both getting blue ball here. You can get 15 at most, so there's an end to it.
Alright,
Okay,
that was 7 for Bydey based off the cycles. I'm not sure how.
That's 7-2 for caznode, right? Because he just came off of a lightning.
I think so. Yeah.
Assuming that he was on like the same lightning cycle that Bydey was on, that would be 7.
Yeah, it should have been. So it was like not quite a 20-second difference, so it'll stay not quite a 20-second difference.
Yeah, it's like almost a jackpot, 7-7. If we got a third runner in here, we could win a lot of money.
Another spin speed. This one is actually kind of important because it makes the screen really safe. But yeah.
Yeah, it also gives you a significant boost on these stairs. You'll notice they're moving really fast when they have spin speed on stairs, if they go diagonally.
Yeah, mostly it baits the Snapdragon because you can move in a specific way so it doesn't hit you.
Yeah, you'll see that coming up later as well, coming out of the split. There's an enemy near Kakariko Village that can run really fast. And we use a spin speed there. It's like the mandatory spin speed of the run because it is the only good way to avoid that enemy.
There is a strat that you can use.
Yeah, I bet it's in glitchless dungeon order.
It involves like a weird slash or bait or something. I don't remember. I've done it like twice.
Oh, is 7 more likely than 6? That sounds like the setup of a joke. Is it because 7, 8, 9?
No, it's well, I'd have to think. But, I don't know who did this math. I just trusted it.
So Pod is the dungeon that it's the dungeon that the mirror really shines in, even though the mirror was really like meant for Swamp Palace, because you go through this front part so many times to get keys, and then you mirror back to the front, and then you go back through along a different path. And as Bydey is showing us right here, the hardest part of Pod is remembering what part of the cycle you're on. So Bydey just tried to go into that door without the key, which is like something you would do in the All Dungeons run, which Bydey doesn't run, but like it's still hard to remember. Yeah,
especially when you can be focusing on a lot of things in this dungeon. And a big concern there is, of course, it's the time loss, but he will beat down a bomb here.
I also saw, like, I don't know if he was familiar with the behavior of this bomb floor. It looks like he expected it to still be open when he went up. Because a lot of things that you bomb stay open, but for some reason bomb floors do not. And I guess, of course, being that, like, they want you to be able to walk on that floor.
Not a situation we really encounter very much, so
Yeah.
easy to forget or not be aware.
This does even things up quite a bit, though. We have both of them in the same room together now. So it's not really how you want to see it even up, but at least this one is not just pure luck.
Here we have the hammer jump. We really don't want to mess this up. Bydey's a little bit low. Goes for sword buffer, gets it. Kaz is a little bit high. Oh,
That's good. He gets a nice sword buffer as well. Bydey being in a little bit more pressure to succeed, being short a bomb. Yeah, that hammer jump saved a lot of time. It's enough time that you can buffer like for 30 million years before it loses time. So even when you're new, it's worth learning.
also, we really don't want to do pod basement. It's weird.
Pod basement, yeah. If you want to see pod basement, you watch the All Dungeons RMG World Record. It's even weirder. The pod basement has rupees in it, so you can maybe work it into your rupee route.
So those rupees are routed in for 101%.
What is 101%? Do you actually get all the chests, like the single arrow in the pod
You
basement?
get all the maps and compasses and every intermediate upgrade, and bomb and arrow upgrades.
Oh, so you just straight up need the money for bomb.
You just need the money.
No. Oh no! Well, who runs a mode that requires bomb and arrow upgrades in the first place?
Nobody. There's like 6 runs of it.
Bydey enters this room backwards? What is this? I've never seen this before.
It's a Bydey strat.
It's a
Bydey
Bydey
has
strat.
a few unique strats. He finds that's more consistent for him. Those turtles are really weird. So I don't know if it actually is more consistent or not, but it works for him.
If you are going into the practice hack and you are doing that room over and over again, and one way is more consistent than the other, then it's more consistent for you. So you should do that strat.
Exactly.
And it looks really cool to see him walking down with his like back to the turtles. Like, you don't look at explosions, you know? You don't look at turtles. That's a really nice fight for Bydey. These runners are taking advantage of spin speed, extending the hammer's hitbox forward, giving you sort of like the dash hitbox instead. Bydey has a rando brain. I just saw that in chat. Bydey is not a rando player until like last week. So he played a rando right before this race. So that explains why he went the wrong way in pod at the beginning.
Oh yeah, the spin speed for the hammer actually displaces the hitbox further away from Link. Doesn't make the hitbox bigger, but in this case, the direction that it's displaced is very helpful for us in hitting up hammers. And it does twice as much damage as Master Sword, so it's twice as fast.
It's surprisingly consistent to use the hammer there. It looks scary, but it's one of the best ways to actually hit Helmasaur. Trying to go for spins just makes it hard to maneuver. Alright, no lottos please. We have too many lottos on these 2 Ropas in this tournament. Okay, that looks good.
As far as I know, there's no way to make the lotto less likely. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah, just like the tournament was cursed. I feel like I saw a lot of lottos in a short amount of time on this screen.
Let's see if Bydey goes for the instant hammer dash. If he knows, looks like he does. Goes for it, gets it.
Yes,
There you
I saw
go.
somebody do that in the previous race and get screwed by an RNG. And that enemy does 2 hearts of damage. You don't need a lot of hearts going into Thieves, but you really don't want to be entering on a deficit too much.
Actually, if you go low enough there's no RNG that can mess with you.
Oh, that's good. So they were just too high then.
Yeah, either too high or a little bit late, maybe on the dash. I say there's no RNG that can mess with you, but like if you're a little bit slow or whatever.
Yeah, then there's an
just,
RNG.
Right, but that's player RNG, not game RNG. So.
All right, we're getting first try digs. Very good. So we collect the flute here on the way to Thieves Town, and this is where that spin speed around the guard comes in. We call this guard Usain Bolt because he's a very fast runner. And you move in a certain way to bait him so he doesn't hit you.
Right, there's a specific, like it loads in a little early, and so he'll charge straight down, and then you can use that to your advantage to diagonal past him. I assume they're both just gonna dash here. No spin speeds.
The screen with the 3 blue guards is also surprisingly technical. As you can see, you're face to face with this top one, and you have to be pretty clean to actually beat him.
Yeah, it's weird. You have to like cancel the first dash earlier than you think. I don't know. It's strange.
Okay, we're done with the overworld portion of Thieves Town on Bydey's side. The dungeon itself it's not too dangerous, so we have a lot more hearts than probably need at this level. But there's a lot of RNG that can happen that can slow you down. And the biggest one being in the Hellway, which is this big conveyor belt room with a bunch of enemies that can get in your way. If you dash and stop your dash frame perfectly, you can line up in the center of the room and dash through the middle. But you do need both enemies to not be blocking your way as you dash up.
Yes, and each of them has 6 movements they can do, and I don't know precisely how many of their movements will block your path, but it's only like 1 or 2 out of the 6 for each of them. Ooh, Kaz gets a bad dash, and now he's being chased by the thing. Okay.
Okay, good. Didn't get hit. And this little room here is also pretty sensitive to your movement. Most of the time you'll be safe, you just nudge that block, but if you exit the door too far, there is an RNG where that Zazak can just charge you immediately and you can get hit. Bydey does not get the center pixel. Oh, that's kind of cool. Caznode actually uses that menu buffer there and gets God Pixel. Very good.
Yeah, it does change how he has to approach the next room, but it's not really any faster or slower to do it one way or the other.
Yeah, most people will use it here, where Bydey is using it to read the RNG of this, the beetle that he just slashed at. Because there are 3 ways it can move. One of them you don't have to slash, and there are 2 that you do have to slash. If you want.
Kaz just uses a different menu.
Oh.
There.
Oh, he places his bomb. Yeah, that makes sense. You place your bomb and then menu. Okay, I can respect that.
Yep, Bydey Bush, Shoulder Bomb, got that one.
Good call.
This one, I don't know if Kaz normally picks up this one or just race strats.
I'm seeing a lot of toilet bombs in the tournament. You don't want your run to die at IPBJ.
Both of these runners can hover, so they at least have, another 5 or 6 shots at it. But,
oh, no, yeah.
But yeah,
hovering
we really don't want to do that.
Hovering that is hard. It's also just really slow. You don't want to have to hover that unless you're extremely good at it. There's a few people who will just main hover there to save a bomb and to look cool, but actually saving time on it is pretty tough.
Yeah, bombs are actually really fast. I think the slowest bomb in the route costs us about 40 frames to get. So your hover has to be really darn good to be worth it.
I also think there are people who just find the hover easier than the IPPJ. They exist. I've seen like Andy fail the IPPJ and then just back it up with the hover. Not even in a speedrun where he was out of bombs. Just go like, oh, whatever, I'll just hover. It's easier. Alright, blind is... I'm not going to say it. Because as soon as I say it's a scripted fight, somebody loses the script.
Kaz missed the 8th hit because he swung a little too early and did not hold his sword.
Oh, that happens to me all the time. Thanks for letting me know what that was.
A lot of times what you want to do in this fight is you actually want to hold your sword and just get pokes instead, because everything we do does the same amount of damage, so there's no real reason to like go for a slash over anything else.
I think there are a lot of times when you are used to dropping your sword because you expect to have the poke to have happened by now, but if you miss the poke because he's in iframes, and then you drop your sword, preparing for the next part of the script, you'll just spin your sword, and that will freeze you in place for
forever.
50,000 years, and you are not only off script, you're not even on stage anymore. It's so bad.
So here we're going to be picking up most of the stuff we need for the rest of the run. 600 rupees so we can buy flippers later, and tempered sword, which is actually really out of our way. It costs about 80 seconds to get this, and it is 100% worth it.
It is so slow to get that you actually will reach Ganon sooner with Master Sword. But Master Sword Silverless Ganon is so slow that you will get that time back in the fight.
We're seeing some real boomer strats on Kaz's side.
That's like, yeah, pre-Blinksmiths.
This is pre-2019 strats?
How much time does Blanksmith save?
None. Optimally, they're like 2 frames different or something. I don't even know which one's faster.
So what caused Blanksmiths to fall into favor?
The big reason why people do Blanksmiths is because the 2 rock throws you have to do are really easy to lose time on.
Oh, okay.
And so most players will lose 20 to 30 frames trying to throw this rock.
You can't just mash A, right? Like, you have to...
No, you want to get exactly a first frame throw, or else, like... Yeah, mashing it's not gonna work.
If you mash it, you'll just, like, kick up dust for a bunch of time right after you throw it, right? That's what I'm picturing.
Pretty much, yeah. So you want to press it exactly once to throw it. You can also press other buttons. It's just... So you could like press B and then press A, but yeah, throwing the rock and then dashing immediately after are the hard parts. And now we get the fastest dungeon in the game. This is like a 2-minute dungeon.
Oh, this is kind of fun. This room is pretty awful though. The RNG you get from these Gibdos just can really screw you over. You don't want to have to react to them, but you do have to. Sometimes they force you to get off your statue and pull it, or slash one of them. They like to be invincible when they're touching the statue as well, so you'll think that you can just slash them out of the way and then find that your sword goes right through them.
Yeah, I hate those Gibdos.
They're such cheaters. And they have so much health that you can't just kill them to get them out of your way. These Moldorms are also awful, but you can at least slash them.
Yeah, they'll die in 1 hit. Thank goodness. Oh god,
imagine Moldorms not dying in 1 hit.
That's what they do in Hera.
I know, it's so bad. That's why that mold orb in particular is the worst one in the game. That one and the one that camping the switch before the Hera torches.
Yeah. We're coming up on the back part of Skullwoods here, which is really fun. We're gonna see some pretty cool rooms here.
Back of Skull is pretty, you're a little bit more in control here. There is that fire snake can just get in your way, like we saw with from Bydey. It's a little unfortunate, but in these Gibdo rooms, no matter what RNG you get, you can do basically the same thing and always have the same result. This mold orb can be something you might have to react to, but you know, it's
Bydey
nothing.
smartly holds his sword out there.
Oh, he misses the spike though. You want to hit the Gibdo onto the spike. You don't want to kill the Helmosaur. Okay, good. If you kill the mini Helma, you might accidentally advance the fairy prize pack, just like the 2 guards in Hyrule Castle. So
that looked like 2 hits on Kaz's side. Oh, Bydey.
Bydey, no. That's an example
out.
of you get a spin, and suddenly everything gets out of control.
Now even the spikes will kill him in 1 hit. Shout out to Sankart.
No!
Oh!
No! Sankart tried.
Sankart tried indeed.
Getting back here is also terrible because you have no magic. And you have to kill Gibdos and just hope that they drop magic.
There are enough magic pots that we can light the torches just fine, but yeah, it's
No!
Oh!
Yeah, and if you're doing this part of the dungeon in a way that's not on your normal script, that will happen. You will get wall mastered, you will get knocked into a pit, because you are not practicing this movement.
Yeah, and what Bydey's doing here is these pots in the corner have magic and hearts, so he's trying to get some of them.
I don't think he knows which ones are magic. I don't think he fails this often enough, and he tends to reset a lot when he does runs.
I'm not sure I knew which ones were magic.
I think it's like top left and bottom right. I think those are the only ones.
Okay, so Bydey is gonna do some lamp stuff here. We can see how dangerous the Gibdos are once you kind of let them do their own thing for a bit there. So
yeah. Oh, and caznode is playing the game too, and I feel kind of bad for not noticing. He's already here at the pyramid. He's going to pick up some items that he'll need later on the way to Ice Palace. The flippers from Zora and Catfish, giving you the Quake Medallion for Turtle Rock, are right next to each other. Much better fight for Bydey in the second try.
yeah, unfortunately, this is not that interesting movement-wise.
The Zora's domain is. There's some water physics.
Quick Fish is done well there on Kaz's side. Saves a few frames.
Yeah.
Kaz has a 611 Ice Palace gold. Oh my goodness, that is fast.
It's what's called nice for a reason. Now, this Zora's domain screen is it's a very movement optimization heavy screen. If you hit the water, you will bonk in the water, you'll splash, and it will lose tons of time. And the water isn't where it looks like it is. Like the edges where it's blue and dark blue and light blue. That is not like a boundary of the water. The actual boundary of the water is like a directional based detection, and depending on which direction you approach that from, you might splash or not splash. It's so bad.
It's really weird, and the only way you learn where it is by falling in the water about 400 times.
But Bydey is going to toot his flute on the screen. That actually sets a variable. It resets a variable back to a default value to make sure that his fire rod works correctly in Ice Palace. It's one of those little things that will come up later in a more spectacular way in Misery Mire. But there are some variables that get shared by the game, and one of them is the splash damage of the fire rod will read the altitude variable of some of your item uses. And the flute is one of them. Kaz
got the bad Zora RNG, opted to just go for it.
Yeah, Yeah, he lost his beams. So like 1/2 a heart doesn't seem like a big deal, but you do want beams in this room to not have to use a fire rod shot.
Yeah, beams will hit the berries even while they're sparking. Looks like Bydey also got quick fish. And burning them, they take forever to die, so we don't particularly want to do that. But sometimes the game forces your hand.
Am I right that 5 bombs is a lot of bombs to have going into ice?
Most
It
players
looks
will
like
have
more.
4 here.
Okay. No, because he used 2 in here, that's why.
Yeah, most players will have 4 entering Ice Palace. You can have as few as 1, I think, and still do the dungeon, but we don't really want to do that. That bomb's high. Okay, got both of them.
That's nice. You get your bomb refunded in that room, and if you're really desperate, you can pick up the drops, but it's super slow. That's a pretty nice conveyor. Normally, if you want to be super optimal, you'll take a damage boost on the spike and dash clean across, but doing it that way is pretty good too. But that room can really go out of control.
In the pen gator room, you do a slight down right movement, actually to clip in the paw a little bit. But it's weird. Because Kaz has beams, cannot slash to the left, slashes up instead.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, if you slash to the left, you'll just hit one of them, and it will get knocked off. He goes for the stair clip, but gets the slightly wrong stair clip that gets you damaged and also loses time. For some reason, the corner of the stairs have like spikes in it, and it's weird. Okay, good. Fire rod kills are slow, thankfully, but you can actually get a jingle glitch in that room if you kill the enemies right as you're entering the door.
That one's pretty uncommon, but yeah.
It's not the worst jingle glitch to get in this game. But I don't want to see 2 of them today. That would be bad. I've actually seen Bydey get that jingle glitch before in the Kobold Worm's hat. And then he spent the rest of the run like in that jingle glitch state, which deletes that shutter door. So it just like looked weird. It looked like he's walking through nothing. He's just walking right through the door. Because I'll step on the switch and it'll open, but it won't actually look like it opened. Because it's already deleted. And caznode has a very nice cold stair fight. It's not dangerous until suddenly it is. It can get into a very party-like situation. Oh, that's a really nice dash for Bydey. That's the damage boost strat I was talking about earlier.
One of the advantages of the damage boost strat is you won't be full health walking into Pengator's room. So a lot of people practice the room by slashing left to start their sword spin, because you want to hold left out of the door, basically. So yeah, a lot of times you actually don't want to be full health here. Because we see Bydey slash left.
Alright, what do we know about their shopping?
Kaz found caznode quick warp.
Oh,
and
no.
that bonked?
What was
my
that?
God.
Well, excuse me. Okay, so this is why some people like to do their ether shopping in the swamp split. Because you don't want to be entering Mire 3 hearts down. Bydey will also be getting ether here. He gets long swamp, so he gets ice rod and ether according to his splits.
Oh, the Boyne special. It looks like Kaz only gets ether here. Bydey with a unique setup for the spin setup in the cold stair fight, but all the movement we do there is just to bait the icicle away from cold stair so that we can get that initial spin, no problem.
Does Bydey move like left a little bit before going down?
Yeah, he went to the left there.
They taught me that. That's what I do. It's pretty good, actually. I recommend it.
Yeah, no matter what you do in that fight, you're gonna have to practice it for about 100 years. Kaz had a really strange interaction there. But you just kind of ingrain whatever movement works for you.
I think he like killed an enemy at the same time he went through the portal. I don't have his audio on. Did you hear like the mirror portal go like whoop 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 or something?
No, it's just the rock went over the Octorok's head, and then because there's not like a real Z-axis in this game, it's just like a modified Y-axis basically. It then hit the Octorok later, and so the Octorok died in a strange way.
Oh, that's weird. Alright, no weird bonks for Bydey on the Mire Ether screen, or the Swamp Ether.
Bydey will be forced to not do Long Swamp here because he does not have bombs. So
oh no, yeah.
Shopping will probably be the same for both of them.
I hope he's watching chat and like we can yell at him if he tries to go to TR without Ice Rod. Because changing your shopping in the middle of a run can be a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, thinking about anything in this game is it's gonna mess you up.
Not recommended. Don't think, only do.
Alright, looks like Bydey remembered.
He remembered, but he has to remember again later to get the Ice Rod.
Part 1 we've remembered.
And then the other thing that he has to remember is like all his menus are going to be a little bit off for a little bit.
Probably, yeah. For this, well, I don't know how he chooses the menu, but yeah, for this dungeon a little bit, but in Mire we will go over the Ice Rod, so if he's used to having it, it'll be different for sure.
What caused Bydey to be off bomb route? Because I saw he had synced up again after the use town. And his IPBJ was fine.
I am not sure. I missed it myself.
And there's nothing in the Skullwoods incident that would consume bombs.
No, I don't.
You don't use bombs in the back of Skull.
Unless he accidentally placed 2 for Skullwood's bomb jump, but that would be weird.
Yeah, he's cognizant of bombs, getting one in the front. Probably get some in the back as well. Meanwhile, caznode going to left side to get the big key.
I guess he could have gotten the damn chest, but that is 1, really slow, and 2 more bombs than he's gonna need. So, not worth it.
Caznode's getting beat up in the back of Swamp. On top of the 3 hearts he took on the mountain. Got some bops from the Tektites in the drop-down room here.
Kaz is really getting beat up, oh my goodness.
This is the health level where you actually have to think about the fact that Argus does 2 hearts of damage on green mail. Usually you don't.
Hearts, and you're probably getting hit on the pathway to Argus.
Oh, by that guy, yes. So even going to 5 hearts isn't really going to do anything because you'll just be on 4 when you get there, which is the same as 3.
Yeah, if you're gonna get the hearts, you're probably getting both of them.
Oh, Bydey got stuck on the switch. Those switches have, like, sticky collision. Oh, he just...
Okay.
He could just not get hit on Argus, too. That's fine, too.
That's fine. I would get the hearts for sure now. Yeah, so collision's kind of weird in this game. Diagonaling also makes things weird. I mean, setting up diagonal movement in video games is a non-trivial problem, but a lot of issues can be fixed by only using cardinal directions, which can be tough to remember in the moment. Kaz is going for it. I respect that.
Oh my goodness. No. Is he gonna go for 0 cycle? Because
yeah, there's no way you don't.
Yeah, you don't want to change what you do when you're in a situation like this, because that's more dangerous than
we're
he's
not
not
going
going for it. But he's going for like a hybrid strat where he like walks towards Argus. Probably because that's he might. Oh God.
This is okay.
Okay.
Kaz is smart. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I know that I would have just panicked, spammed the hook shot for iframes there, which is really dangerous. Very good. You know what? Why did I even doubt him? He knows what he's doing.
I will say, it's hard to get a 124 and not be able to react to basically anything the game's going to give you.
Yeah, the 123 level and 124 level, like the biggest barrier is probably being able to not lose time to the RNGs that most people would consider inevitable time losses.
Yeah, absolutely. And just being able to just be like, well, the game is having it out for me today, and I just am only going to lose 30 frames. I'm not going to lose 5 seconds. Bydey is not getting beat up, but that doesn't mean they've been friendly. They've just not been as mean. I don't think Bydey will get this bomb. Yeah, okay.
So he's going to be entering Mire with none? Will he go for the 50-50 rocket Ice Rod just while he's waiting for the bomb to go off?
I think here you probably just get Ice Rod in Turtle Rock. Unless you really want your menus to be the same. Bydey is going to attempt a zero cycle here, misses the first shot at it, but gets it a second shot right away. Okay. It's hard to reset yourself.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is at this level, like a zero cycle Arcus, when it fails, it just becomes a fast one cycle. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the Fire Rod Quickle and gets 3 cycles instead of 1. They don't save that much time doing the Fire Rod at all, so I see a lot of
second. It's about a second.
But it's a lot more to get 3. But 3 is pretty rare. You have to like get a poke by accident or only get 1 of the rod shots like he did.
Yeah. This room right here, Kaz is doing is exactly why I don't expect Bydey to get Ice Rod in this split. Because we really want to be full health. Getting Ice Rod just has the chance you take damage. It's not a big chance, but it is there.
Yeah. And entering Turtle Rock with 0 bombs is fine, but entering Mire with 0 bombs means you are getting... You have to get Spooky, or you have to get the free bomb from the slug.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of Spooky misses in this tournament, but I haven't seen many Spooky misses prior to that, so... I won't say it's free, but it's a pretty consistent trick, so... I wouldn't be surprised if they're both comfortable doing it with no bombs.
Caznode looks like he's having a pretty good... Bydey's getting Ice Rod here. Color me wrong. He must really like his menus the way they are. Oh, see, he got hit. Oh, it's a bummer.
That is really unfortunate. Get in there. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't comment on Caznode's Mire 2, but he actually got the fast Mire 2 where he beamed the Popo on the way up, saving quite a bit of time when you get bad Popo RNG. But it's a bit tighter than the normal Mire 2. And
the funny thing is, it saves like single-digit frames if you get good RNG, so...
Yeah, it's really an RNG protection strat. Because when you get bad RNG, it feels so bad to have to chase after that one. That alone can be a motivator. And he is full health. He's going to go for Spark Gamble. Very good. Does not get the good boost, but that's okay.
Even if you get the worst boost, it's still faster to go for Spark Gamble, so...
Yeah, if you're not going for Spark Gamble, you spend a million years like walking down instead of dashing, and you're not all the way in the bottom of the screen when you go for it, so it's just... If you can afford the health, just go for it. I noticed people menu there. Is that like trying to frame rule the Spark, or what?
A little bit. Sparks can only hit you on specific frames. And it is possible to frame rule it. I think it's possible to frame roll it. Actually, it might not be because you would nudge against the stairs right at the end, so you wouldn't have a full 4 frames, 4 pixels.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody frame roll it.
It's just a consistent place to menu, which is really all you want with your menus, to not have anything weird happen.
So Bydey is down a bit of magic here. I don't think he has a full rod shot.
It doesn't matter. Or
It
shouldn't
does
matter.
kind of matters if the red bar gets in your way here. Because you want to rod shot him if he's like, okay, you do have a full shot. It's actually nowhere here where you use fractional magic, so I should have known that.
Kaz getting set up for his victorious fight. Uses the menu there. That's not one I've seen, but works. We're going to get 3 spins, and then we're going to finish off the last couple eyes.
That was
And
textbook.
8 arrows. Finish the fight.
Very good. Hopefully we see 2 textbook viddies. We've been seeing a lot of very, very tense viddies in this tournament. Not as many deaths as the NMG tournament had, but a lot of really close calls.
Thank goodness. Dying sucks so much.
I almost think people expected viddy disasters and actually practiced their backup strats this time. Learn their lessons.
Maybe.
Next year they'll be practicing jingle glitch safe strats for GT, because that's been the big boogeyman this year.
I've seen
Bydey-
2 of those so far, at least.
2 of them, yeah.
2, yeah.
Bydey, being down 2 hearts, decides not to Spark Gamble here. Probably smart. He knows that little time saves like Spark Gamble aren't going to determine the outcome of this race. He needs caznode to take a death somewhere to catch up.
Or just lose like 40 seconds to Gundam warps or something. But,
Oh no, a 15er.
yeah, that'd be bad. Ooh, Bydey's dash got cut short there. That was strange. Yeah, so...
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, what is this RNG? Come on, dude.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh no, okay, at least he has an extra bomb. Gets hit by his bomb for good measure.
Alright, so the semi-good news is we are expecting to get a lot of health back in Turtle Rock. Bad news is we have to take 4 hearts of damage before
Well,
that happens.
You don't have to. Bydey is behind by enough that if caznode is watching the race and doesn't care about a PB, which why would you on 7 blue balls? He can just go for the mirror strat and not take the damage boost.
It's true.
And I think that's what you would do if you cared about winning the race rather than just trying to have a good run. Which, from player to player, I think a lot of people here just want to do speedruns on restream. And have an
Right.
excuse to pick up NMG again after a hiatus.
Winning is a plus, but I think most people, just want to play
Yeah.
their way. So
You don't see as much strategizing like that in these as you do in randomizer races.
And I think if you were desperate, you would just get this bonk fairy.
That's true.
Nice fight from Bydey.
Yeah, being a little low on hearts too. Didn't have any fear. The last thing you want in the viddy fight is fear. Fear is your killer here. Usually it comes from something goes wrong, you take a hit, you drop your sword in the first spin, and suddenly you panic. And you can usually avoid death if you don't panic.
Fear and overthinking. Yep, that's what's gonna get you for sure. But here we get Turtle Rock. It is simultaneously the easiest and the hardest dungeon. It's easy because we spend half of it on platforms,
Yeah, and
and
then
we spend the other half inches away from death.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I forget who was talking about this dungeon being, there's dungeons where it's you'll lose 30 frames here and there. You never just lose 30 frames in TR. You lose 4 hearts in 30 seconds.
an apt description.
Yeah, it's not my description. I cannot remember who said it. It was one of these races. Okay, caznode just Oh, he's going for the safe hook strap. Okay.
Oh, that was a little bit early.
Yeah, that was scary. I don't know if you can save time over mirroring, though, because mirror saves...
It does save somewhere between half a second to a second.
Okay,
actually.
so
but
it's
a
like
lot
3
more dangerous, and it's not so simple. So...
There's the fairy. And the being, not more than 7 hearts down means also that he has beams in this room, which is crucial to the success. And some of these strats, you know.
Chomp's room is actually not a room where, beams save you about 15 frames in that room. But sometimes they actually make the room too fast.
Oh.
Which is awful. But
yeah, I guess you didn't use beams there. I've seen people use beams, but I don't know if that's like a backup or if that's for certain RNGs only.
Beams have a wider hitbox than the Mario blocks do, so chomps are more likely to eat them. So you have to kind of get specific RNGs. But they also travel faster, so it makes the room faster. You kind of do want to use them in terms of speed, but if you get like a slow chomp, you go too fast and your iframes run out and you get hit. So, but beaming that switch saves like 10 frames, so that's a good room to have beams in.
That's kind of cool.
And then later on, we're going to see a room where beams make it a lot easier, assuming we keep them through there.
Ooh, God Pokies.
God Pokies on a run where
you have 7 blue balls.
Where you have 7 blue balls and you got destroyed on the ice rod screen.
Yeah. Classic.
Because this roller room, beams are going to make it a lot easier, more consistent, and faster. So, really nice there. That was terrible. Chomp's RNG on Bydey's side, but he reads it right and gets through it as fast as he could.
It was a good, very, very calculated move to that room to make sure that he doesn't slam his face into chain chomps trying to go fast.
Kaz is coming up on laser skip here. We'll see what strategy he opts for. This goes from pretty easy trick to really hard, and looks like we're going for an easy version of it. Well done there.
Alright, and the fairy for Bydey too. So I'm glad to see him back on full health as well.
And we do need 1 bomb for GT, so Kaz gets his there. In the Trinix fight, we're gonna need to hit the heads with their opposite rods. So ice head here, ice rod on the fire head, fire rod on the ice head. Okay, good. No ice on the floor. Bydey poke that. Pokey. Okay, we're through.
Oh, he has the bombs though. Those bombs are annoying. Because you want to run out of bombs when you use your bomb in GT to make the menu a little bit faster. But he's not going to be able to because it's really hard to dump 8 bombs.
Yeah, you gotta really try for it.
You probably just
some
lose.
menus around.
You lose more time trying to dump your bombs than you do just menuing a little bit extra.
But then you have to remember the menu, which is the hardest thing.
Oh, this is a little adventure on the roller coaster for Bydey. He gets back on track. It's like a little miniature representation of his adventures in Pod. We briefly went the wrong way. Alright, let's see how he handles Laser Bridge. He goes for a dash. Very good. That's a really hard thing to do because you have to read the RNG of the beetle. And those beetles have so many degrees of freedom that it's not just like, oh, does he go up or left? It's like reading.
Oop.
Okay, we're good.
I think the beetle has 32 different things it can do. And like only 2 or 3 of them is the beetle going to mess you up, but you just have to be able to recognize those quickly. It's either 32 or 64, I don't remember which.
Alright, so Caznode enters GT as Bydey goes for his backdoor Trinix. Both of them, oh, he gets like the canceled rod thing. Can just like eat your restun. But he doesn't lose the 1 cycle for it.
GT is the most challenging dungeon in this game. We're probably not going to die, but every single person loses 40 seconds over what's possible. Like, it's really hard. But also really fun. So, yeah, these first rooms look kind of benign, but the movement is pretty precise. Something you practice a lot. Kaz went for the fast trap, but got the bad RNG, so couldn't beat the fire snake there. Coming up, we have Ice Armos here. Ice Armos is one of the most important bosses in the game. Not necessarily the hardest, but if this fight goes wrong, then the Ganon fight will be weird. And then we're probably going to die. So yeah, I was talking about variables earlier. The game, it's a Super Nintendo game. It was programmed in 1991, and they were very good at saving cart space by reusing stuff. And one thing that gets reused is the variable that makes things spin. The thing that makes Armos spin will also make Ganon's fire bats fly out in a certain pattern. And if you spend a consistent amount of time in this room, then you don't spend too long in it, you will get very consistent Ganon bat patterns that makes the fight a lot safer. Now, once you go outside of that range, they become chaotic, and you can't predict them. Yeah, coming up on some of the most challenging rooms, the Mimic rooms here. Just getting through these is an achievement, and ooh, that looks pretty good.
Oh, so tight. It's so easy for Mimics to just go off the rails, because they're very sensitive to your movements. And Caznode has exactly enough arrows to recover.
Oh, I didn't see what happened. Bydey got knocked off the edge there.
Oh.
Lost a little bit of time. That's too far left? Oh no, we're good. Or too far right, I meant. But so just the Ganon bats will be predictable, which is what makes them safer. But also, there'll be a nice pattern. Even if we knew what was coming, it's one of the better patterns we could get from Ganon. Yeah,
that's when you're inside the circle of bats, you don't have to move that much to dodge them. It's like 1 up, 1 down or something, and then you're done. It's so good. It's a really good pattern. And then you get like a random bat pattern, even if you actually dodge it, you have to do a lot more movements to do it. And also when you come out of Ganon's tower, you're not on the health. You don't get a health refill. I get to. So you have what you get. Caznode will come out with this like 6 hearts or something similar.
Right. Kaz has had a pretty good run of GT so far. He gets hit by the fireball, but still cleans up landmo in 1 cycle there. That's good.
Yeah, it has a lot of good, like, really quick thinking where he, like, skirts around the edge of landmo to get a sideways hit. It's easy to just, like, try and go from your pivot center point and, you know, if... oh, no, sorry. Bydey is having a party here. He can actually recover from this. You have to spend quite a bit of time in this room to mess up the bats.
Yeah, I don't think he was too... Oh, Kaz gets hit. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
it's a lottery. He was on a safe pixel there, too.
Yeah, that's just a lottery. There's nothing you can do about it. I like to menu to lamp there just to read it. So I can at least not fall when it happens.
So Kaz getting a little beat up. Bydey looked like he was going for the mimic clip.
Yeah, I thought you only do mirror mimics when you're menuing to bow, but he just does it without the menu, which is crazy.
Okay, we're through. We can see how tough these mimics rooms can be.
They're so hard to optimize. There is some strats you can learn that are like easier and are a little easier to be consistent with. But if you're trying to save frames, oh, he goes for the Eddie strat. Let's go.
That's faster.
It is. And a lot of people find it more consistent than the older strat. I'm seeing, I don't want to say like newer runners, but like runners that are entering that like 128 range, learning that strat, because if you're going to learn a strat, like, might as well be the good one.
Right, absolutely. It does cost an arrow. Sometimes we're very tight on arrows in GT, so maybe can't go for it every time.
What is this left side dash? I've never seen this. Bydey is just always pulling out strats I've never seen before. It works though.
Probably manages the RNG of them maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe.
If it is slower optimally. Kaz starts the Aga 2 fight with 3 hits. We're going to need 6 hits just like the first fight, but there are 3 of them. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes you just get an RNG where even if you reflect the balls, they hit at the same time and only count as one.
That sucks.
Oh no. It's getting absolutely bullied on Aghanim. This could actually still be a close race if Caznode dies on Ganon, which is very possible given that he's on one-hit KO from Fire Bats or Hugs. At least in phase 2.
Pretty unlikely. Most runners are very well practiced in the Ganon fight. It's rare for anybody to boot up a run without having done Ganon at least, a few times beforehand. But
it's true. It is the go-to warm-up.
So we're going to need 12 spins here, or 12 hits on Ganon, rather, in the first 2 phases here. And we're going to get 3, and then that counts for 7. And that trident spin, that's 11, and that's the 12th hit there. We're going to set up 4 hits there. We're not inside the circle, so we're going to see hookshot strats. And that's 12 hits. I'm not sure if Kaz is used to being in the circle. The movement looks a little bit more panicky, so maybe...
Yeah, I usually see people doing the circle strat on that RNG. I find that RNG actually kind of hard to do with hookshot. So I was surprised to see him go for it on one-hit KO. Bydey getting a little bullied in this pre-Moldorm key. He's going to be entering on one-hit KO as well.
Kaz did not get 27 warps, but we're going to need to light this torch really quick.
There we go.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah, he could actually afford to miss Torch Glitch and still be okay, but doing this fight without Torch Glitch is so tedious.
So
I recommend it. It's just boring. You just wait for him to fire and walk. There's no manipulation you can do, really.
We're down to just needing 4 spins, so 1 more torch lighting should do it here. Gets the hard RNG, but nails it, and 1 more spin should wrap this up.
That was a really good phase 4. Bydey getting kind of unfortunate agate patterns as well. It only gets 1 hit each on these cycles. Oh no, and it gets hit. Okay, very good.
GG's to Kaz.
GG to Kaz.
Now Bydey is an Oko from everything that does damage in this fight.
Yeah.
And which is mostly the fire in phase 4 from Ganon. Honestly, if he's gonna get hit by anything, I kind of expect it to be that. So same deal here. We're gonna see 3 slashes, and then he's gonna get a double spin off the trident. Needs 5 more. We're gonna see 5 slashes here. And now we're starting phase 2, and gonna get 12 slashes or dashes in this fight.
Nope.
Ooh.
I don't know if he always goes for that hook shot. That is a spicy hookshot use, because usually when you're doing like inside bats, you're doing it because you don't have hookshot. But yeah, he just hookshot straight into Ganon's body, and it's not really what you want to see. He's not going to have good bats either, because one of the things that sets values for Ganon's bats is Ganon's bats, and now he has random values.
Going for some spins here. That looks like some low percent strats.
Yeah, that was a I know my bats are messed up strat. I think he recognized that being inside the circle was not the place to be.
Right. Well, being inside the circle is easier. It's only easier when you're used to it. When you're inside and you don't know what to expect, being outside gives you a little bit more time to react. So.
Yeah, it's really dangerous in randomizer. Thankfully, you usually have like more health and stuff. He's getting 1,000 warps too, which is just a bummer. Very good opening to phase 4 though.
And we're joined by Kaz as Bydey is finishing up the Ganon fight here.
What's up, gamers?
GG.
GG.
Nice run.
Most of it was the blue
Nice-ish
balls.
run. I mean,
It's mostly the blue balls, let's be honest. A little bit of a party at Ice Rod gave, but that was also just terrible patterns from the crabs. But otherwise,
Yeah.
he had some pretty good gameplay on display here.
I don't know. I think that was the swampiest swamp of my life.
Oh, the swamp was pretty scary. We were really worried in Argus, but we shouldn't have been because he pulled it off. And GG's to Bydey.
Yeah.
Still pulling in the sub 30, which we like to see.
Yo, good game.
Oh, GG, guys.
GG.
Yeah, I mean, I know you had a couple issues, Bydey, but outside of that, the run was pretty good.
Not bad. I'm getting better. I got a lot of rust. I was pretty good up until like Skull, and then Pod I went the wrong way. That was just because I'm doing other stuff. I went to the left side, and then I realized, and I was like, oh crap. And then so that was not bad. And then Moth, I think I held my poke too long or something, and I dropped my sword, or I still had my sword held out, and I walked over with. I can't remember what happened, but I didn't do my sword poke right. I think.
Yeah, you got to spin.
Yeah, was that what happened?
Yeah.
I got a spin.
You got a
something
spin.
happened, and that got me way out of position. And then after that, I was just scrambling. And then really after that, pretty much most of the mid game was good, and then GT was a disaster. And
When
then
is it not?
I thought I had bad bats, so I actually tried to hook down out the way, and I just hooked straight into Ganon at the end there.
You can tell if your bats are bad when they first spawn. And so, in your case, they spawn normally. So that's something maybe be on the lookout for.
Yeah, I'm not in tune enough for the game to have realized that. So I thought if I stayed in the middle with bad bats, I was dead. So I tried to get out of there as quick as possible, and then you saw what happened. So
I wasn't watching the stream. How was it looking as we came out of Light World?
Tied.
Oh wow!
7 blue balls equal. That was really exciting.
Yeah, that's 7's pretty uncommon, and getting 2 of them. Well, I mean, I guess it's better than only one person getting them, but it's still, that's got to be rare.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. We were saying at least it's both of you getting 7, and we don't want that kind of mojo, into another race where one person gets like 14.
well, I'm glad it was like that, because I saw 7, I was like, oh crap, like I'm gonna be miles behind now. So I didn't really know. I had a peek after I died to see where I was at, but I didn't really know coming out of Light World either where we were at.
It was pretty close up until then, Bydey. I think it was like Kaz was a little bit behind because of Hera, and then you You were actually ahead until Skullwoods, Bydey. But yeah, I don't know. It's tricky, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes. It's. I mean, GG's. Caznode puts up a good run.
Yeah, for sure. I guess this is how my races are going to go down. I'm going to have a Moldorm disaster and horrible blue ball luck.
I'm just trying to finish one where I don't die or do something stupid. 2 runs in a row, I've done something really silly. So maybe next one I'll get it together.
And remind me, was this a 1-0 match or an 0-1 match?
This was
0-1. 0-1. We lost our first match.
0-1. Okay. Well, I suppose the good news is you'll both avoid Aerie for at least one more week.
RNG manipulation.
But yeah, anything we're looking forward to for the rest of the league? I know we still get to play all 4 of our matches.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just enjoy watching the game. It doesn't really matter who's playing for me. It's just fun to watch and see people playing against each other. The time doesn't really, well, it does a little bit matter, but really, if you're within a couple of minutes of each other, anyone's really got a chance of winning. So it's always good. It's fun, and I'm glad we're doing it. It's got me back into the game, so can't argue with that. So
Yeah, I love tuning into the Dow commentary, even if it's not for me.
Well, thank you. I think Malmo did an excellent job today, and I didn't have to talk very much, so it was nice.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure, as always.
Awesome. I'll look forward to watching it back.
yeah, as always, thanks for the comms. Thanks to ZSR, and thanks again to the admins of the league for doing a good job. Appreciate it all.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a pleasure every time, no matter how it goes.
And I think with that, we'll probably go ahead and let ZSR take it from here.
All right, sounds good. Happy to do it. Thank you to our runners and our commentators for making this an excellent race to watch. Thank you all out there for tuning into ZSR. We've got some non-link to the past stuff coming up tomorrow. Some Majora's Mask Randomizer, OOTR, Z2R, things like that. Then on Saturday, we've got Link to the Past Cross Keys tournament at 2 p.m. Eastern. And you can check out our schedule. I'll link it in the chat here. For all of the other cool Zelda stuff going on. And with that, I think we'll maybe just send you all to some, totally unknown, unwatched rando runner out there. And say good night. See you next time.